The David Dunlap Observatory officially opened on May 31st, 1935. The historic facility is located in the heart of Richmond Hill and is a research center for the Department of Astronomy at the University of Toronto. Michael Allen is the observatory's public relations director.
The land was donated in 1933 by Jessie Dunlap. She was the wife of David Dunlap, who was an amateur astronomer, and he made his fortune in mining. When it was first built, it was in the top 10 in the world, so it was quite large. It was quickly dwarfed by the Americans, who went through an incredible phase of telescope building in California, for example. So at the time it was very well known. There were some very good researchers here. The department itself was formed by Dr. Chant at the University of Toronto, and he attracted some good researchers here to do some excellent work, and that tradition has continued.
When it first opened in the 1930s, the Dunlap Observatory was used for long-term, detailed monitoring of nearby and bright stars.
But the sky was quite a bit darker in the 1930s. The reputation of the astronomy department then was built on basically stellar astronomy of stars. There's a big program on binary stars now that the new director of the observatory is an expert in this field. Binary stars are two stars that rotate around each other, and they can do this in a matter of a few hours or a few days. So you can get a complete curve of the rotation. The actual connections downtown, it's a good training telescope for students before students head off to one of the big telescopes in Hawaii, for example, or Chile. It's nice to bring them up here so they can see how a telescope operates before heading down there to one of the very big and one of the very modern ones. Of course, the very modern ones are more automated than this. So the nice thing about this telescope is you can get a real feel for how to point it, for example, and how to focus, and the type of work you can do with it.
Severe funding constraints through the late 1970s and the 80s curtailed additional expansion, although U of T astronomers have been very active on the national and international scenes.
The current work of the observatory is mostly research, although a lot of it has to do with public outreach. And during the school year, we offer tours on Thursday mornings, and this is basically for school groups. For public tours, we have nighttime tours, and those run from April to October. The nighttime tours, we do put the eyepiece in the telescope so people can actually look through it and actually see an object. And usually we look at a bright star cluster or some such thing. We also have some excellent support from the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada, the RASC. And they will be out here on Saturday nights during the summer as well with smaller telescopes. And they chat with the public as well. And so there's nice work that happens between us and them. The building's quite attractive, and it's certainly a lot better than sort of the 1960s corridor-style physical sciences buildings that you see just, all over North America. If you're applying to a national institution, you're applying for, maybe between 3 and 6 nights every half year or every year. So you're not getting a lot of time on these telescopes, and long-term monitoring often isn't possible. With a dedicated telescope like this that has basically a smaller number of users, even though it is an inferior quality telescope, you could make much better use of the time for looking at objects that do change their brightness over time, as an example.